What's going on, fellas? We are playing with the black pieces today, another 30-minute game. So let's see where it takes us. Okay, so far so good. Yeah, okay. So one thing, whenever I'm looking at some positions like this, I always kind of want to push one of these pawns to prevent the knight from coming to this square. Because if I do, let's say I make a different move and he comes here, well, the only way for me to actually defend this is to do this. And I don't really want to put my knight on the edge of the board. So I think for now, we are just going to push this outskirt pawn. The game here says we are playing the anti-fried liver defense. So I don't actually know the fried liver. Like, I've heard of it, I've seen videos of it, it's just never something that I've taken the time to think about. It looks like they're probably going to be playing something like this. So what do I want to do here? I don't really want to push this. Not without this, at least. But what do you notice from this position? What do I see? I see that their knight's going to have a hard time coming out here. But I think their position will probably end up looking something like this. What happens if we come here and he comes down? If we come here and then this, well, takes. So I think that's a good move. I think we'll do that. I suppose he could also do this, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. We'll see what they do. And they castle right away. So what do we want to do from here? I guess let's just finish up our development. We'll probably castle as well. Let's put a knight out. Get ready to push this pawn. Get our bishop out. Yeah, so now with that knight being out of the way also, or not the knight, with the pawn being pushed. I didn't see this before, but the queen also does help here. So let's think about this. If we take, so that still looks good. We are worried about this bishop move. If that bishop moves, we're going to have to do something, but for now we're going to take with the pawn. And I calculated that totally wrong, but I'm not super upset with this position. I can always take here. I don't have to move this. It can, there's nothing really being threatened to me right now. If I take here, he does have this, which pins me, which I don't really like, so maybe we won't do that. Maybe I will go ahead and push this pawn. We definitely didn't have a very normal counting there. I definitely had a counting error. So yeah, now he's going to be threatening to do the same thing. He can't do it on either sides because they're both defending. He's also leaving this. And so I'm going to take this. And then if he decides to pin, well, we can always do this. So I think that's okay. Yeah, that's going to be just fine with me. We'll play it like this. There is this move, but then we just come back. We come back and we would still be holding on to this. So let's see. Takes. Boom. Yeah, that's not great. So if we push this up here, then what? Takes. I think that looks okay. So let's do that. I'm also thinking this right here seems to be a pretty deadly move, actually. It's defended here. It's a fork between the knight and the rook. I think, depending on what his next move is, that move is looking pretty good. Yeah, so he does take here, but I'm just going to do this right away. And he has to deal with that. And he actually just resigns. So we're going to go ahead and do a quick game review. That was a 5-minute game. So we are now up to 784, it looks like, which is pretty good. We did have a blunder, which probably I'm going to attribute to that counting error, which is unfortunate. So it doesn't like this, just because of that. Oh, and the counting error was not my blunder. So that was their blunder. And this was mine, because it did want me to do this. You have allowed an opponent to win material through a fork. Oh yes, yeah, that would be bad. That would be a pretty nasty fork right here. But we did end up hitting with this. So we're going to take that as a win. We are now 784. Let's go ahead and open up another game. We're playing with the white pieces now. So I could go for another Scotch, or I could go for another London. Now, I've been liking the Scotch, so I kind of want to do that again. But one thing that I was interested in was what I was talking about in the other video with going against the England Gambit. I kind of do want to see if that becomes a thing. So maybe we will play with London today. And I don't, like, this isn't a very common response, so I'm not expecting that. But if it does happen, that's really interesting. Ooh. Okay, so against this, I think a good move is actually coming here. Now, I was watching a video recently where it actually is e4, c5, and then you come in with these two pawns. Something, I think it's called the Alapin. I think it was in a Gotham chess video. But I'm not going to be too worried about that. I think the same strategy kind of applies here, where I could come up this way. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to push this pawn. Kind of a weird move that maybe I'm not normally used to making, but also just in the London, when they bring out this, that is kind of what you do anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. There is also the possibility where if they don't threaten this square, rather than playing to London, I could just get two pawns out. So that is a move. So depending on what they play, I might just get two pawns in the center. We'll see. So he took 4 minutes to decide to take that, which is a little bit weird. We're just going to take back with the pawn. It's that easy. It is that easy. There is an idea in chess of there's a certain piece that a lot of people don't pay attention to. And now here we have I'm thinking about, well, do I put this out to play the London, or am I going to do this? Maybe I'm going to put the knight out first before I decide what I'm going to do with this pawn, whether it's going to go here or if I am going to take two pieces in the center. Because I don't know that I want to put my bishop out yet until I know what they're going to be doing with their pawns. So I think I am just going to push this forward. and that will be an okay move. I think we're going to be looking at castling. I've talked about in the past how I don't normally castle in a lot of London positions I play because I like to keep this open, and just I don't know, I just don't ever find I find that I do pretty well without castling in some London variations. So, but I think in this we are going to be castling. So they're going to go ahead and push this pawn. Yeah, we are, you know what, we are just going to take the center is what we're going to do. These moves, I don't really understand them all that well. But we're going to take the center. We got the center. I think we're looking okay. So they're probably going to be playing this. So I think with this move, we are going to be looking at this. So this bishop could be placed here pretty nicely regardless. So I think that is what we're going to do. That being said, they could push down. Then I just hide it away. I think that's okay. Let's actually play this knight move instead first. And so they are going to push their dark square bishop to pin this. Actually, I'm totally okay if they want to make a trade for that. That's okay, because it looks like all their pawns are going to be on light squares. They're going to move back. Can we trap it? If we come up, well, you'll have to come here. Doesn't really look like we can, so I think we're going to be just fine with that. Let's go ahead and move our bishop out. What square do we want? Which bishop do we want to even move? Let's move this one. Let's go right here. And so they're going to attack us here. Well, it's not quite defended because this is pinned actually, but we can just move this. We could just move our pawn over. We can move our pawn over, or we could push this. And then he has to move. But if he moves here, I don't really have a nice square to come back with. So, you know, it's kind of a tough decision. It's what do we want to do? If we come here, we could come here and we can lose this bishop. And if we maybe try to defend this bishop, pulling it back somehow, well, we could lose this. So I think we're just going to push our light square bishop, and then if he does make this move, maybe we'll defend with the knight, or with the queen rather. I think a good next move, depending on what they do, is pushing this pawn, allowing us to have this space back here. So he's going to take. That's totally okay. That's totally okay, because I anticipate this move. That doesn't bother me very much at all. We're just going to go ahead and push up. And that I think that's totally okay. What are they going to do after that, though? Take. Nah, those don't make sense. This doesn't make sense. Doesn't really make sense. Don't think we need to overthink it too much. Let's just move this. This move will be annoying I suppose we could just pull it back this way, actually. I didn't even think about that, but we could. There's nothing that stops us from doing that. One thing I kind of want to think about in this game is they've already traded away one of their bishops. So if we can actually maintain having, you know, both bishops on our side and getting rid of theirs, that's okay too. Having a bishop pair is, seems to be, you know, something that we would like. So he's just going to go back. What I'm worried about is castle. He comes down this way and then has some weird way to bring his queen out. I mean, everything is defended, and we definitely don't want to castle to this side. So let's just go ahead and castle, and we can start preparing for some pawn breaks. I think that'll be okay. Weird move. Weird move for sure. Let's maybe push this, or, you know, another thing is we could move this knight over. That seems okay. That seems okay to me. We could also move this knight to one of these center files. So if we are going to be doing a pawn break, what side is it going to be on? Well, it's probably going to be on the E file. That's where his king is. That's where we're going to have the most support to do a pawn break. So let's actually just move our rook over. I can see a move like this. He doesn't do that, so we're actually just going to push this. Take, 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 take. I think we did some good counting here. Well, I'm kind of going to expect a move like this. No, he doesn't make it. He doesn't make it. So let's take here. If this, we can drop back, and this will still be defended. But he doesn't do that. I see. So is there any way we can take advantage of this? Well, let's see. If he comes here or here, that will be bad for him. If he comes here or here, that, you know, we would lose this bishop, which is something to think about. He can't come here. So his only real good moves are these moves, if we push this. Is that something we want to do? I don't know that it is. But I do want to keep the pressure coming. If we do have to lose this, it would be a trade. I think that I would still be okay in this position. And we're also just slowly chipping away. But if this, that leaves our bishop undefended. And that's not something that I'm super into. So these moves don't make sense. So let's just move our other rook into the game. I think I'm okay with that. There is this, but then we just move our rook back. We also have this knight move, attacking here. All right, so he does this. So that kind of gets rid of this pin here. I think at this point, we might want to think about moving this away to a different square. Or we could think about attacking here. Now, if we attack that, it does open up this rook. Unless he takes us. I don't really have any other moves with this. And this is defended, so I think we are just going to do that. He is defending this pawn, but we have two other defenders here, so that's going to be just fine. And if we can reunite these two pawns in the center, I would be happy with that too. So that seems to be a good move to me. So he moves back. He doesn't want to trade it. That's okay to me. Both of these squares are going to be controlled by this knight now, so it's not something I'm worried about. Let's go ahead and get ourselves an escape square for this bishop and for the king simultaneously. He moves back, so do we want to do en passant here? That seems interesting. That seems like an interesting move. Let me think about this. So if we take, he comes down here. That adds two attackers onto here, but we can just pull back. But then what's stopping him from coming into this position? Does he have any good moves from here? He could get into our, our kind of castled position here. I say let's do it. Let's see what happens. I'm happy about this. He's going to take, we'll just move right back. Now, if he comes into here, I think I would actually take with my queen and offer a queen trade. I'm not ahead on material, but I think my position on the board is better. I think my king is safer. My pawns are better. He's got a weird pawn structure. This knight's not doing too much. And he's going to go ahead and castle. Now what? I think we could push this pawn and see what he does with his knight. He's got, let's look at his options here. So we can't go here. I doubt he'll go here or here, because those are both bad moves. These would also be bad moves. His only option is really to go back. And then once he goes back, I don't know what our next move would be. Potentially, we could just trade off our bishop right away for it. It would be nice to have this set up. But I think let's go ahead and push it and see what he has to say about that. Yeah, so he's going to move back. If I move here, it creates a battery. That threatens checkmate right there. So his kind of options are to trade or to just give me checkmate. Is that something we're interested in? Well, we would be going into an endgame. We would have equal pawns, and we would have the bishop pair. I think that's okay. So let's see if he takes this, or maybe he doesn't see it. I doubt that. Let's see what happens. So he moves back, which I think is a blunder, because I do think that now this is checkmate. Let's go ahead and see, are we missing anything? Well, what can take this? Only the king can take this, and the king's not going to have any escape squares, so I think this is checkmate. Yes, it is. Rock and roll. So we've won 2 games today. We are now 792, which is crazy. Let's do a game review. Let's see if we did anything wrong here. See what the engine says. So it looks like it did want me to go ahead and keep pushing this out of the position. Really? 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 Let me see. Whoa. Whoa. You want to turn the Christmas tree on? Oh. So this is interesting. It actually wanted me to come here. And this way would be threatening checkmate, and somehow this would, how would this win a queen? I don't understand. If we go here, yeah, because that pawn would be the only way to block the checkmate. Yeah, so that would have been okay too. We missed it, that's fine, we still won. That would have been a definitely a better way. That definitely would have been a better way than coming here. Rather than saying, hey, let's do a queen trade, I think this threatening checkmate without the queen trade possibility was definitely a better move. But that's okay. We did pretty good. Total blunder on this part. And yeah, rock and roll. We won 2 games. We are doing very good. We're doing really good here. So if you guys liked the video, like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. And then let me know. Do you guys think we're going to be hitting 1,000 by Christmas time? I think so. We're going to be at 800 here, probably on the next video, hopefully. And then from there, we got 200 points to go. I think we can do it. Rock and roll, brothers.